All right, guys. Our next guest joins us live from his hotel quarantine in Sydney, the former Hex light heavyweight champion and man who we saw at UFC 261. We haven't heard from him since. We've been dying, absolutely dying to speak to him, make sure he's doing all right. The Brute himself, Jiri Crute. Welcome back to Submission Radio. How are you, man?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Just bored as in hotel quarantine.
Dude, so yeah, you're in hotel quarantine now, and you're going to be there for a little bit. Tell us how you feeling being back after this crazy whirlwind, and now having to sort of sit there in that hotel. And also, what are the top 3 things that Jiri Crute does outside of napping?
I can't say what my favorite thing to do in quarantine is.
What are the top 2 things?
Every man knows what you're talking about. Every man knows what you're talking about.
I drink beers and I get Uber Eats, and that's about it.
Nice. Man, I got to ask, obviously UFC 261, not necessarily the result you wanted, but the most important thing, how you feeling, dude? It's been a few days since.
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I feel a lot better after watching it back. I was definitely winning that first round. I don't feel like they should have stopped the fight for what they did, but it is what it is, mate. Like, what can I do about it? But I do feel better after watching it back. It was close, and then as soon as the injury happened, I started dominating. So it makes me feel a bit better about the whole situation. I know they shouldn't have stopped it, and if they didn't stop it, I would have gone out and dominated the second round.
Yeah, take us into the fight, because you just mentioned you watched it back, so it's fresh in your head. Take us into the moments of sort of being in that octagon to begin with in front of the crowd. How did it feel to be in front of a live crowd? I think it's something that a lot of people, especially fighters, really thought was like a cool experience, because that crowd was absolutely nuts.
Mate, it was awesome. Even though they were booing me, it was still such a crazy experience. Like, I've got to be honest, I didn't enjoy fight week. I didn't enjoy getting over there. I reckon I enjoyed about half an hour of the whole week and a half experience, and that half an hour was the weigh-ins and walking out for my fight and fighting and warming up for my fight. They're the only parts that I enjoyed. I didn't enjoy fight week, media day, bloody anything else. I just making weight. I just enjoyed walking out in front of that crowd, facing off with Anthony Smith for the weigh-ins, and walking out for the fight, and obviously fighting Anthony Smith. So it was really cool. It was good to have crowds back for sure. I dealt with it a lot differently than I had in the past, having that crowd.
Yeah, and you broke it down for us. Success in the first round, and then Anthony lands that kick. So take us into that moment there. What was the initial feeling of it? Because for a lot of us, that's not a kick that we've seen happen very often in the UFC, where someone's leg sort of goes out on them. What was going on in your head? Did you realize what had happened as the kick landed? Take us into that.
Yeah, so obviously he was winning the first part of the round. It was close. I was landing my leg kicks. He was jabbing me, and then I was countering off some of his jabs. I feel like I was just starting to find my groove, where I was landing like left hooks off his jab and right hands. And I started putting the pressure on, and then he hit me with this leg kick that hit me in the peroneal nerve and just took out my whole bottom leg. Like, I couldn't feel, like, literally, it just felt like my leg had been dipped in fire, and then it went numb, and I couldn't feel anything in my leg. And then I kept rolling my ankle, but as soon as that happened, I just went, oh well, I guess we're gonna have to grapple now. Until I knew the feeling in my leg would come back. Those nerve damage, it only lasts for about a minute or two. So I knew that if I just grounded him, hopefully by the end of the round, I could get some feeling back in my leg, and we could go for the second. It took a little bit longer to get the feeling back. I think I literally started walking again normally like 20 seconds after they called the fight, so it was really frustrating. But the game plan was to put him in a clinch in the second round anyway. Feel him out the first round, start putting pressure on by the end of it. Second round, clinch up with him, start really making it a bit of a dirty fight. But I didn't get the chance. They didn't give me the opportunity or chance to prove that I could do that. And it's frustrating, but what can you do?
Yeah, before we go back to the fight, I'm curious, has anyone ever landed a kick on you like that before where you've had that kind of reaction? Or have you landed a kick on anyone like in the training room or anything where you've seen that happen just so you knew what was going on at the time? Or was it a whole thing like a bit of a weird learning experience for you?
Man, I'm trying not to think too much into it. Like, yeah, I'm not going to sit here and talk shit about anyone. You know, I have so much respect for Anthony. He placed the kick. He did it well. But I guarantee you, he didn't mean for that to happen when he threw the kick. It wasn't like a planned thing for him. It was just a freaky thing. Like, he meant to kick me in the leg, no doubt about it. But it wasn't. You know, that doesn't happen on purpose. That was a freak accident sort of thing. So, in terms of having done it or felt it before, I've been kicked in the leg by some of the hardest leg kickers in the world. You know,
You're trained by Sam Greco.
I'm known for taking those kicks and delivering. You know, he landed a leg kick on me 10 seconds before, and I made him pay with the right hand off it. So, you know, that's sort of my thing. I make people pay for trying to kick me in the leg. But it just hit me in the sweet spot, in the nerve behind the knee.
It was so weird watching it as well. Like, I think anything to do with ankles and feet moving like that, people just go like, oh man, this is just kind of weird. So what did it actually feel like trying to take a step and then your foot would just kind of go underneath you? What does that feel like?
I couldn't feel my leg. I couldn't feel my leg, mate. Like, yeah, just couldn't feel my leg. But I knew the feeling would come back. You know, we've seen it before. You know, I don't need two legs to grapple. I proved that. But yeah, it's just frustrating to think about.
Well, you say that, but how did you take him down with one leg? I couldn't believe it. Yeah, I think everyone kind of had that reaction.
3 times one leg.
Yeah,
that's that Daniel Kelly judo, mate. We it's called being resilient. You know, if you get a hold, like, striking wise, you sort of need both legs, but grappling wise, you can sort of lean on them. They can take half your weight. So that as soon as my leg went, I just went, all right, I'll grab a hold of you. That was the plan anyway. The second round was to grab a hold of him and go to work on him, but sort of forced my hand a little bit earlier. But yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Daniel Kelly and the Resilience Training Centre in Footscray, and anybody in Melbourne or Australia should definitely go down and check it out. Who knows, you might see superstars like Jiri Crute there. But speaking of that moment, in your mind, were you like, all right, that's it. I got to get the finish here. This is my one chance? Or were you just sort of just seeing how it plays out? In your mind, did you have urgency? Did you know in the back of your head that, hey, there's a good chance the UFC won't let me go into that second round?
No, I had no idea they weren't going to let me go. Even when I stood up and I was limping, I've seen... You know, there's been times before where people have hurt their leg and limped around and come good, and they've given them the benefit of the doubt. I think they should have. I think they should have let me go out. I definitely wanted to. I feel like if I had gone out in the second, I would have put him away. But in terms of what I felt straight away, as soon as I got him to the ground, yeah, there was a bit of urgency to finish him. But there's urgency to finish him anyway. I wanted to get him out of there because I couldn't feel my leg, obviously. But and then when I got on top of him, I was just surprised how easy it was to control and how easy it was to hit. You know, I think I landed 25 ground and pound strikes in a row, and I definitely had a massive advantage on the ground. So yeah, there was urgency to finish just because I didn't want to go into the second with a cooked leg, but I was very, very prepared to do that if I needed to.
So you mentioned that like 20 seconds after they stopped the fight, you got feeling back. So are you saying that basically from then onwards, your leg was just completely fine as if it was before the fight? You're just walking around normally?
The numbness and stuff went away, and then the pain set in. But you know, I'd rather that. I'd rather be able to feel my leg and feel pain. Yeah, it wasn't too painful. Like even now, I think I've done a bit of damage to my LCL. I think that's what they said it looked like when I fell, but you know, it's just gutting because I didn't get the opportunity to go out of my own terms. I'm getting a phone call, boys. So I'm gonna decline that. I'm back.
Nice.
Good. It's the missus calling. Sorry, Submission Radio is talking to Jiri Crute. There's important things going on here.
Talking to Submission Radio. Piss off.
Do you know if you'll need any kind of surgery? Oh, she's persistent, or whoever it is persistent, calling back again.
Fuck off.
Do you know if do you need any surgery or anything on the knee, or anything to do with the, not a doctor here, but anything on the peroneal nerve, or it's just about resting it?
Nah, so the peroneal nerve just gets better by itself, but I feel like I've done ligament damage. You know, I've blown an ACL before, so I sort of know what the ligament damage feels like. But yeah, I've got to get a scan. I can't get a scan until I get out of hotel quarantine. So yeah, it's frustrating. I'm stuck in here. I don't know what's wrong with my knee. I don't know how long I'm gonna have to have off. But yeah, it's just we've got to wait and see. So I'm not a very patient person. So.
Well, you mentioned, like, we were talking about the electricity of the crowd and the success that you had in the fight with Anthony. And even though it sort of finished in a weird, frustrating way, the whole card itself was pretty crazy. And people were just really entertained by your fight, everybody else's fight on the main card. Even though you're disappointed with the outcome and the way that it finished, do you feel like a part of you is sort of happy because so many more people got a chance to see what Jimmy Crute is about and and even though I know you're going to say, hey, you know, I'm about a lot more than what happened on the night, do you feel like it's kind of cool to see so many people becoming new Jimmy Crute fans after the evening?
Yeah, I was expecting a lot of shit talk after it when I got backstage, and then I just got bombarded with people saying like nothing but respect. You know, your stocks are even though you didn't get the W, your stocks risen. And I think the fact that we've seen people fold from similar sort of things like that and just go down and not try and fight, you know, I was willing to go to the death in there. I swear to God, I was willing to, if my leg could have fallen off, and I still would have gone in there to fight. And not just going there to fight, but I was going into the second round to win. You know, I had no doubt in my mind if I got a hold of him again, I was going to rip his arm off. So yeah, it was really cool to you know, like I was expecting a lot of shit talk, but like I've just been bombarded with positive messages, which I really appreciate. You know, I can't get back to everyone. It's impossible. You know, I'm the worst with replying to messages, but I'm super grateful. I'm super grateful for all the positive messages I've received.
Yeah, and Jimmy, just quickly, what about that Chris Weidman leg break? Did you see that in the back as it happened, or did you just see that? Yeah. How crazy was that? Yeah,
I didn't see it till I got back to the hotel. Yeah, it was nice. It was so shattering too. Like, I got to sort of hang out with Chris a little bit before the fight, like for the whole fire weekend. That guy is just an absolute legend of a bloke. So it was really sad to say to him, and obviously I have massive respect for Ray Longo and Matt Serra and his whole team. So it was really, it didn't deserve to happen to anyone, but it didn't deserve to happen to anyone, to someone, especially like Chris Weidman, who's just an absolute legend of a bloke.
Yeah, I think you summarized it well, and that's kind of how the MMA community feels, that he's just such a nice guy. Like, everybody kind of wanted to see him, you know, maybe make a good return, have a good run. I know, like everybody's lives are separate, and it may not be a sort of silver lining, like, especially, you know, if it's your LCL or your ACL, like, that's going to be pretty shit for you. But when you see something like that and how devastating it is, does it put anything in perspective for you? Are you kind of like, well, this didn't go how I wanted, but man, it could be a lot worse?
It could have been a lot worse, you know. If hopefully I'm only out for a few weeks, not a year or so. Like Chris won't be back for 18 months, I reckon. And definitely that's a worse thing. It put things into perspective for sure. But like, yeah, I was still super frustrated that didn't let me in.
Yeah.
But it did put things into perspective. Like, it made me go, yeah, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, it's put things into perspective for Derek Lewis, who said he's never thrown another leg kick again. So we'll see if that's true, because he likes those jumping ones at the start of his fights. But speaking of good blokes as well, I mean, you and Anthony Smith showing each other so much respect after the fight. He spoke about how skilled you are, how much he likes you as a person. On Instagram, he spoke about what it was like to share such a crazy night with you, how much it means to him. And also how he'd like to sort of train with you in the gym one day if your paths cross. Take us into that, because that's a pretty cool relationship you guys got.
Yeah, we were very respectful of each other before the fight. which is nice. You know, I'd prefer to fight someone that I actually respect and like. It makes it just makes the whole experience a whole hell of a lot better. And yeah, after the fight, we shared a beer and we were talking about training. You know, I want to get a rematch before we train together, but you know, I'd happily train with the bloke, and you know, I'll keep in contact with him. I said before the fight, I said, win, lose or draw, I'm going to learn a hell of a lot off Anthony Smith, and I feel like I did. I learned a hell of a lot just sharing the octagon with him. We talked strategies and stuff after the fight, and I learned a lot just by talking to him. Anyone that's been around the game for that long, you know, when they talk, you got to open your ears and listen. So it was really cool to share that with Anthony, and the fact that he's a really, really nice guy. And I think we're very similar in the fact that we just are who we are and we don't pretend to be anything else. It was cool.
Was he open to the rematch when you guys were just sort of shooting the shit and you said you wanted to get a training camp before the rematch? Was he open to it?
Yeah, I said, you know, we'll run it back. And he said, yeah, for sure. But it's one thing to say that, like, if I was him, I would just, I'm not gonna say he's gonna be scared, but he's gonna know that fight ended in a way that benefited him. That it could have gone a lot differently for him. It really could have gone a lot differently to him. If we make that second round, the tides turn massively. But yeah. If I get the rematch, it's fine. I'm not going to get the rematch straight away. Maybe I rematch Misha Serkinov first. Maybe we go on a rematch tour. But if I don't, I'll 100% go train with the bloke. You know, if we do get the rematch, I'll 100% train with him beforehand. Like, I don't care.
That'd be wild.
But obviously not leading up to the fight. But in general, like, I want to fight him again. So either way, I want to fight him again eventually.
We'll let you go in a second, Jimmy. Before we sort of ask you, you know, if, and I know probably like rehab and recovery is the main thing on your mind. Before we ask you sort of, you know, if there's anybody that stands out to you. You mentioned sort of at the start of the interview that you didn't enjoy fight week. I've been trying to ask you, why is that? What happened?
Mate, I like fighting. I like the show. I don't like doing the media. I don't like getting asked the same question every single day. I don't like cutting the weight. There's that, all that bullshit. That's what I get paid for. I'd fight for free. So, yeah, it was just shit. Like, we couldn't leave the hotel. We're just stuck in a hotel room. The media over there were fucking idiots. They just asked me the same question over and over again.
We've been guilty of that a couple of times, Jimmy.
There was some good ones. Like, the show is fucking amazing. You guys are fucking sick.
Oscar Willis, John Morgan, the sexy Brett Okamoto, to name a few.
Yeah, I didn't get to speak to Brett. Brett's good, but mate, like a lot of other of them are just fucking idiots. Like, they just had did no research, and they just, anyway. I don't need to go. I don't need to go. And I think I'm just angry because I'm in hotel quarantine.
I was going to ask you, how do you sort of balance that? Because I guess, like, you know, the more you fight, the more you win, the more you climb the ladder. I mean, the media is just going to be, you know, getting crazy and crazy. There's going to be more of it. How do you sort of balance that, and in hoping that you don't have, you know, shitty fight weeks in the future?
No, it's not like I think just being locked up for COVID, like the hotel was shared with the general public, so I didn't want to leave my room because I was petrified of getting COVID. So, like, I think just a normal fight, I feel like it was just a different sort of fight week with, like, all the unknowns of COVID and just having to be extra careful of so the fight didn't get called off, you know. A lot of those other fighters are all vaccinated, so they could go out and do a lot more than I could. But I'm not vaccinated, so that's fine. That's fine. I love this sport, man. I had some pretty dark thoughts after the fight, just like because of the way it wasn't in my control, the way that ended. But, you know, I'm not going anywhere. So this is all good, and, you know, I look forward to the next fight week.
And I think a lot of people are super excited to see what's next. But just quickly as well. Big sort of light heavyweight fight this weekend between Jiri and Dominick Reyes. And these are guys that you likely cross paths with pretty soon. I know you didn't really watch much fighting, but will you be keeping an eye on that one this weekend, especially because he's stuck in a hotel and can't really do much?
Yeah, always. I don't really watch the cards anymore, but if there's a light heavyweight fight, I'll definitely, like a high ranked light heavyweight fight, I'll definitely keep an eye on it. And I'm a massive Dominick Reyes fan as well. Like he's such a cool guy, so I'll definitely be watching and supporting Dominick Reyes, like cheering for Dominick Reyes. I mean, so yeah, that one will be one that I keep an eye on, and I'd love to fight the loser of that eventually, or maybe the winner eventually. I don't know, but I need to get something under my belt first.
And speaking of looking forward to things and the big fight this weekend, all the fans and people watching at home can make some serious cash on it with MyBookie. You guys can sign up this week with promo code SUBMISSION, taking advantage of up to a $1,000 bonus on your first deposit. That's at MyBookie with code word SUBMISSIon. Make some serious money this weekend with MyBookie, Cass.
That's right. While you're taking advantage of things and deals, take advantage of Manscaped's awesome deals. Site-wide, 20% off with the code SUBMISSIon. You can get your Lawnmower 3.0. You can use it to shave your balls. They've got all sorts of awesome ball colognes. They've even got their new cologne, the Manscaped Signature Scent. It is refined, it is light, approachable, and gentlemanly. It is calm and inviting, like me after a couple of beers, with a citrus burst and a woody, masculine finish. It's a nice bottle, hypoallergenic, vegan. It is 20% off of everything on the site with the code SUBMISSIon. Make sure you do it. Save a bit of cash.
That's right, Cass. And finally, speaking of our friends at the Ridge, you guys can jump on there right now and grab yourself a Ridge wallet. Take a look at Casper's one. It holds up to 12 cards, over 30 colors, and over 40,000 five-star reviews. The durable material means that each wallet comes with a lifetime warranty. And if you guys don't like it, they'll let you test drive for 45 days. You could send it back for a full refund. Go to theridge.com/submission. Get 10% off today with the code word SUBMISSIon. Get free worldwide shipping and returns. And they don't just have wallets. They got these amazing bags as well and all sorts of other things as well. So check that out. That is at the Ridge. But before we let you go, Jimmy, one last man that we want to speak to you about, and the guy that you were initially supposed to fight, and Johnny Walker. I just want to find out from you, is he still someone you might want to fight? Because that's an exciting one for the fans.
Yeah, why not? You know, I'm open to fight anyone. There's a few guys on my list, like maybe as I said before, maybe I'll go on a rematch tour or something.
But, feel like John Farnham on tour. Instead of retirement, it's the rematch tour.
The rematch tour. Fuck Spiders rematch tour. Nah.
Yeah. That's a t-shirt right there, man.
Rematch treatment, whatever. No, we'll just see what happens, mate. I've got to make sure my knee's all right. Hopefully it's only a few weeks off. But yeah, I'll fight anyone. Maybe I'll fight anyone on one leg.
100%.
I'll fight anyone on two legs for sure.
I know. I still can't believe the way you got the takedowns and stuff and how well you did after the leg. But there you go, guys. Make sure to follow Jimmy on social media at Crute Gym on Twitter and at Jimmy Crute UFC on Instagram. Man, good luck in quarantine. Don't go too crazy. I hope you have enough fun things to do to keep yourself occupied. Enjoy watching the fights this week. And man, best of luck with the leg. Fingers crossed that it's nothing too serious and we'll see you back in action soon, man.
I just want to give a massive shout out to Vital Strength. I think it's backwards, but
that's all right.
Yeah, they're a good mob, and I'm really looking forward to working with these guys. So yeah, massive shout out to Vital Strength.
Vital Strength, man. Make sure to check them out. And Jimmy, thank you so much, man. Enjoy quarantine, and hope we can find some binge watch worthy shows. We might have to send some recommendations down your way.
For sure, boys. I might keep it on you and ringing you for more interviews.
Yeah, that's it. For sure.
If you got nothing to do, just call us 3 a.m. in the morning. We got nothing going on.
Hey, guys, what are you wearing?
It'll definitely be one of those. Thanks, Jimmy.
That's hot.
All right. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, mate.
Catch
Bye.
you, mate.